Shirota is a lonely scrub in human form who can't bag any girls, but his life changes when he saw the school's most popular girl taking off her undies to time travel to stop her mistake, and she blackmails him to be her personal closet and change her undergarments every time she needs it. On that fateful day, Shirota is living his life as a scrub like usual, thinking how a bum like him is nothing compared to Takamine, who is the school's council president and the thick goddess who stands on top of the hierarchy. He realizes how different they are from each other, with the only similarity being that they always went to the same school. However, when Shirota is just being a chill guy, hiding in the gym storage, Takamine steps into the room. He wonders what this hot babe is doing in a room like that, and to Shirota's shock, Takamine starts taking off her shirt, revealing her plums and pepperonis, but puts on her bra afterward. Then he continues the day, still thinking about her melons in class, when the teacher is about to hand the students their test results. When Shirota gets his, he fully expects to fail like usual, but when he gets a 52 on his test, he feels happy to see that he got a passing grade. However, when it comes to Takamine, she gets a score of 98, surprising everyone as Takamine has never gotten a score below 100 before. She expresses how she's not happy with her score, and to Shirota's surprise, she takes off her underwear, revealing her juicy rice cakes and giving a feast for the eyes for both Shirota and you degenerates. At that moment, Shirota wakes up from his own consciousness, and it surprises him to see that he hasn't gotten his test result yet. He believes that getting a 52 is a dream, but when he takes his test from the teacher, he sees that it's still 52. Then Takamine steps forward for her test result, and Shirota remembers her getting a 98, but to his confusion, Takamine receives a perfect score of 100, making Shirota think that he might be on crack. To find out the truth, he goes to the council president's office, where Takamine greets him warmly, but when Shirota confronts her about what he saw, she turns a full 180 and pushes him back. Takamine asks him if he has seen them, and he realizes that she's referring to him seeing her melons in the gym storage room, but when Takamine sees that he has, she decides that they should have a talk instead. She gets him a glass of water to drink, but Shirota thinks that he's getting expelled, and being nervous, he accidentally almost spills the water onto Takamine if it weren't for her dodging. However, Takamine sees this as a chance to demonstrate her powers, so she takes off her bra, activating her powers, and the next thing Shirota knows is that Takamine is completely drenched in water. It confuses him with what just happened, and Takamine tells him that he's the one who made her wet, but because of that, she orders Shirota to wipe her down.
Yes! Hell yeah!
While he's both nervous and creaming from underneath, he wipes her top, and she asks him if he doesn't realize it. She forces him to feel her melons, asking him if he sees what changes, and while he's busting a fat one to the softness, Takamine kicks his baby jewels and informs him that the bra she was just wearing has vanished. She explains her ability, the Eternal Virgin Road, where whenever she takes off her underwear, she can undo things like how she undodges the water and now gets herself wet. Suddenly, she takes off her buttons, revealing God's greatest twin creations, and tells him that while she's a hard-working person, minuscule mistakes will always happen that'll make her less than perfect. She tells about how in the past, she competed in a relay event, but while she was supposed to win, because of eating too many Taco Bell, she got a stomachache which caused her to lose and peed herself on the podium. However, when she took off her underwear later, it undid her loss, and the next thing she knew, she came in first place in that relay. She realized then that her ability was manifested because she had always been destined to be number one in existence. After explaining her ability, Takamine explains that because her underwear kept vanishing, she needs someone to always carry her change, and she declares that Shirota is that person. She wants him to be her closet, but he rejects her offer, and despite her pleading, Shirota tells her that she's sick in the head and he refuses to work with her. Refusing to get rejected, Takamine stops him and forces him on top of her before putting his hand on her juicy melon. He realizes that it might be his lucky day, but to his shock, she screams so loud that the whole school can hear her. Suddenly, everyone barges in and Takamine acts like a victim to blackmail Shirota, telling everyone how he was about to go full P. Diddy on her. He realizes what Takamine truly wants after he rejected her, so without much choice, Shirota begs her to use her power, promising that he will become her closet. She takes off her underwear, and in the next moment, everything turns back to normal with Shirota as Takamine's new closet. For his first assignment, she orders Shirota to help her put her underwear on for her, the one she used to save him. Shirota grabs it from her bag, and without much choice, he puts it on for her, but to Takamine's surprise, Shirota has his eyes closed. She tells him how it's cute and points out how he has been making an effort not to look at her juicy plots, But instead of being disappointed, Takamine expresses how she appreciates his gentlemanly side, one that she always knew he had. Just then, she asks him to put on her bra next, and when he hesitates, she tells him not to cream too hard. Takamine's secret ability to undo time by taking off her undergarments, which Takamine has used to get on top of the school's hierarchy and become the girl of every guy's dream. Shirota gets the luck of a lifetime, being her new closet, carrying around her undergarments and helping her wear them. Just then, she pulls his hand and teases him with her plots, making him feel the sensation of a lifetime, but suddenly, she tells him that she will use him for her fun. Just then, 2 FBI agents barge in and arrest him, saying that he will now be locked in jail for what he just did to Takamine. And when Shirota looks back at that evil witch, he sees Takamine smiling with a tear in her right eye like a true villain. He wakes up in his bed, feeling relieved that it's a dream and that he's not stuck in prison. Just then, he receives a text message, and when he looks at it, Takamine tells him not to be late while sending him a plotful picture. Then, when he gets to school, Shirota is still in disbelief after what just happened to him, hoping that Takamine is a manipulating witch who takes off her undies to time travel as a nightmare. She shows up behind him to greet him, which scares him, and everyone around can't believe that their queen bee Takamine is talking to a worthless scrub like Shirota. Takamine orders Shirota that as her closet, he has to come to the student council room, saying that she needs to talk to him. Then, when he enters the student council room, in all her beautiful glory, Takamine greets Shirota for coming there, and Shirota can't help but stare at her beautiful legs, which remind him of the other day. She asks him not to be strict as they are partners, but her words send a shiver down Shirota's spine when he remembers what she made him do. Suddenly, she throws him a bag, telling him to open it, and when Shirota does what he says, he is shocked to see that he's pulling out an undergarment. She explains that with all the undergarments in the bag, Shirota has to carry them around as her closet, and is his duty to have them every moment of the day, so she can use her ability to fix her mistakes any time of the day. She adds that as soon as she uses her ability, Shirota has to put her undergarment back on immediately. Shirota tells her that it's impossible, suggesting that they do it during breaks when nobody is around, but she rejects his suggestion as she wants to use her ability as many times as possible. In order for that to happen, she needs to take off her undergarments multiple times a day, but she warns Shirota that if he disagrees, she will just undo how she saved him from going to prison and let him rot there forever. After hearing that, he promises to do his best, and when Takamine sees his determination, she also tells him that if he works hard as her closet, she will reward him in ways that he can only imagine in his wildest dreams. Suddenly, Takamine sweeps his leg, causing him to fall down to the ground, and she squats in front of him, saying that she can fulfill his greatest desires as his prize. However, she expresses how she would have preferred if Shirota enjoyed being her closet, saying how while she's embarrassed, she doesn't mind that Shirota was the one who saw her plots. Shirota refuses to get rizzed up and calls out her attempt to manipulate, deeming it nonsense, which Takamine admits that she did just try to manipulate him. Later in class, Shirota wonders what kinds of scenarios Takamine uses her ability for, and just then, the teacher asks Takamine to read a poem from their book. She reads it beautifully with every word having meaning, and when she finishes, the teacher praises her performance. Shirota thinks to himself just how amazing she was, believing that she won't use the ability often, but then the wind blows inside, and the teacher asks a student to close the window to stop it. Suddenly, Takamine stands up and tells Shirota that she wants to redo it, which shocks him. In front of everyone, she takes off her undergarments, activating her ability to defy the laws of time and redo everything all over again. It brings back Shirota to before Takamine read the poetry, and when the teacher asks Takamine to read it, she does it again, but this time she times her reading with the wind blowing inside the classroom. Her poetry reading brings Shirota and the others back to ancient times when life was simpler, and they watch Takamine as she reads out the poetry with the wind assisting her performance. It gets Takamine a standing ovation from everyone in class, and when she looks at Shirota, she smiles at him in great victory, as if telling him that she's the best due to her ability. Shirota realizes that if Takamine uses her ability for even trivial things, he will have to put her undergarments on her countless times. At that moment, Takamine throws a paper ball at Shirota, asking him to hurry up, and he realizes that it's time for him to do his mission. When he looks around, he deems it impossible to get Takamine her undergarment, and he decides to wait until the break. However, Takamine, having already made preparations, leaves Shirota's eraser on the floor in front of her, signaling to him to pretend to pick it up while putting on her undergarment. While Shirota initially hesitates, he remembers how Takamine can redo her saving him from jail, so without much choice, Shirota pushes himself to do it. With an undergarment in his pocket, he approaches the eraser and pretends to pick it up. But when nobody is looking, like a smooth operator, he swiftly puts the undergarment on Takamine's slender legs and walks back to his desk. He looks around, and when he sees no one notices what he just did, he celebrates by himself. However, when he looks back at her, he realizes that he didn't put her undergarment on properly and that it's about to fall at any moment. She signals to him, telling him to fix it, and he realizes that while she knows her undergarment is slipping, she refuses to fix it without his help. Just then, the teacher starts calling the students' names, giving them their books back, and Shirota imagines how Takamine walks to the front while her undergarment slips to the floor. He knows how it would destroy her perfect image of beautiful purity, but because she refuses to be less than perfect, he can imagine how she will manipulate everyone to think that he was somehow responsible, which will end up with him as the scapegoat. Just then, he remembers how Takamine expressed to him that while she felt embarrassed if people saw her undergarments, she didn't mind if Shirota was the one who saw them. After remembering this, Shirota makes a decision, and when Takamine's name is called, Shirota walks to the front to get her book. The teacher questions him for stepping forward, and he lies to him, saying how he misheard Takamine's name for his, but because he's already at the front, the teacher asks him to give Takamine her book. When he does hand the book to her, she thanks him for it, and he wonders why he decided to protect her. Suddenly, when he tries to walk away, Takamine has her feet wrapped around his to stop him from walking away, ordering Shirota to put the undergarment on her properly. Without much choice, he uses his leg to push the undergarment up her leg, slowly getting closer to where it's supposed to be while feeling the plump and warmth that are there. Suddenly, Shirota's name is called and he gets surprised, but the shock causes his leg to push too far, hitting her danger zone and making her release happy noises. Later, the two gather in the student council room again, and Shirota expresses just how unbelievable she is. But Takamine informs him that she was merely testing him to see just what he's capable of. He asks her what she would do if he didn't get her book for her, and without any care, she tells him that she didn't think about it as she knows she can believe in him. Then, Takamine asks Shirota why he decided to save her from the embarrassment of people seeing her undergarments, and he doesn't know the answer to that question. Takamine suggests that he feels possessive over being the only person who gets to see her undergarments, and while he refuses to answer, Takamine knows the answer is yes. She expresses that to know that Shirota is obsessed with her actually makes her happy. Just then, Shirota asks her in return about the happy noises she released before, wanting to know the reason why, but Takamine shuts his lips, ordering him to never bring that up again. Comment, undergarment carrier, if you want the next part recapped, and if you like anime recaps like this, then watch this video right here.